Hi, welcome. My name is Dale McCluskey, and on this video I'd like to take a couple minutes to discuss the interpretive script of learning theory and why it's so problematic when it comes to creating relational change with dogs. The issue of learning theory, the fatal flaw of this ideology, is its core tenet that physical response represents a like-minded state. And what I show very clearly is that physical response alone is not the determining factor to determine if relational change is actually taking place. Through this system of training and the relational model that pivots off this approach, what is assessed is whether or not unwanted behavior is truly diminishing or not. And how this assessment is done is actually looking at the context and stepping back and being able to qualify behavior itself through the overall decision-making process of the dog and the type of influence that's happening beyond just physical response, but actually looking at the physical response itself and being able to qualify the type of influence that's happening between dogs and owners. And within the within the framework of learning ideology, within these feel-good systems that use motivating agents and influences such as treats and associations through those influences or agents, such as with using clickers or other type of play toys. It's the ability to to assess and look at and go a little deeper and say, well, what is motivating the dog's decision-making process? Is the dog simply looking at the owner as a supply source and still objectifying, or is meaningful change really taking hold and taking place? And this is where right out of the starting gate what I show is that training itself represents an intervention at the relational level, because when owners need professional help, the dog has already gained a level of power relationally within the relationship itself, and that the behaviors are really the clues that this has happened. So even behaviors that even from the puppy stage that owners are struggling to overcome, such as housebreaking, and what I show through housebreaking is the dog is expressing that state of mind. So what you're seeing is within the context of a dog's decision-making process, when you look at the follower script itself, the dog's decision-making process is pushing beyond that script and starting to push outwards near the boundaries of the pack relationship. So when you see the pushing outwards and even the possessiveness towards certain people and how dogs objectify, but then when you try to have them respond to you, that you're not getting that, you don't have that influence, you don't have that pull or that hold over the dog's the dog's path that they're taking. So again, when you look at the core tenet of learning ideology, what it's really based on is it comes right through behavioralism, right from this idea that physical response will show will provide insight into the decision-making process of the dog. And this goes right through Pavlov and Skinner back in I believe it was 1923. If you reference my book, Mind and Body Connection, I lay all this information out for people to see exactly where these problems began. And again, when you start from a cracked foundation, and anything you build off of that is not going to hold up. And that's exactly what's going on. That's why you're seeing the such a argument or between people when it comes to this ideology, because people are what this ideology aligns itself with is a is the emotional mirroring of owners. So and so what I show very clearly is dogs are their decision-making process is influenced at the relational level. That's really the key distinction here. So right out of the starting gate, how training is approached is how this model approaches it is as an intervention, whereas the learning-based model approaches training and behavior issues as, we can teach the dog. The dog can learn to be better behaved. And this is a fatal flaw, really, because this whole issue of was dominance. I show through nature, it's really issue of strength and weakness through how the person is connecting with their dog. Bond is being established. Dogs are really able to get a sense of where you're standing in nature. They're able to get a picture, so to speak, of of the relationship, of how you're connecting. So people who are struggling or have the most struggles with behavior issues with their dogs, it's no accident or coincidence that they're connecting with their dogs at more of an emotional level. And then when you add on the individual need of the dog relationally, that certainly adds to this issue. But again, it still circles back and comes right back. The focus comes on to the owner. Whereas this whole learning-based ideology, what happens when it fails to meet the relational needs of dogs, the focus goes on to the dog as being the problem, and a lot of those who promote this ideology will shift the focus onto the dog owners doing something wrong. And so that's why the tendency is to go towards medicating the dog. Something must be biologically wrong with the dog, because what happens here, there's a trade-off. I mean, the ideology is what is taking precedence. It's what is being elevated, and because again, it's really about how people think. So I just want you to consider that when you look at physical response. You have to be able to put it in context. You have to be able to qualify what's happening, and you have to be able to embrace dogs as the relational beings that they really are. So the roadmap that you use, right from the very start, is going to play a critical role in your success. So I just will encourage you, if you have any questions about training, about your dog, you can contact me anytime. This system is very unique. It's very special. It doesn't matter. People have failed in the past. This system is just like beginning again. It wipes the slate clean. Regardless of your issues that you're having. I would encourage you to check out my site. This system can help you move forward towards success. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a great day.